Alright guys, so today I am starting the process of getting the irrigation ready. Basically what we have to do is we got to run a couple different zones of irrigation throughout the garden. And we are going to do overhead irrigation. We're not going to do drip irrigation in the garden. It's just a lot easier, and sometimes it's more efficient to do overhead irrigation, and so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have 5 sprinklers in the garden, and I have to get all of the supplies for that. So I'm running to the store right now. I'm gonna grab all of the necessary tubing, the sprinkler heads, the timer, the connectors, all of that stuff I'm gonna go ahead and get now, and I'm gonna start this process. So tomorrow I hope to get some seeds in the ground. Spinach, arugula, some lettuces, some carrots. I hope to get those in the ground tomorrow. But before I do that, I need irrigation already set up so that we are good to go so far as watering the beds right after we seed. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run to the store, grab the necessary supplies, and start this process.
All right, so here's what I got. Irrigation timer. Got 3 zones, 1, 2, 3. So we'll have 3 zones in the garden. Basically, we're gonna have west side would be zone 1. The middle, we're gonna have a sprinkler in the middle that goes 360 degrees. That's gonna be zone 2, and then zone 3 is gonna be the east side down here. Got a bunch of connectors. I got 3/4 inch tubing. This is just 100 psi generic poly tubing, and this is what we're going to use to run the water. And then all of our connectors are 3/4 inch as well. Got our impact heads, the sprinklers. These for some reason are 1/2 inch, and so I got a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, and then these fit on here like so, and then it gets pressure fitted right on here. So that's how we're gonna run that. I got T-posts that I'm using to prop up the sprinklers. That's gonna be what's holding the sprinklers in place. Those will be on each corner, obviously, and one in the center. And what else? And then I got some clamps to clamp down the pressure fittings. Then that's it. So we'll get started and start putting this thing together. This is the center of the garden where we're at now. So the irrigation timer is gonna sit somewhere around here. Probably gonna have like a landscaping box of some sort to put all this stuff in, and then the tubes will run out of the box. It's gonna come here. In the future, we are gonna run an underground water line to the center of the garden right here, coming out of the back of the house over here. But for now, just so we can get the irrigation up and running, we are going to, please don't peck me. So for now, we are just going to run the hose back over here and hook it up to the timer. So let's get started. All right, that's that. So we got all of our pressure fittings on. Now we will hook up the tube to the pressure fitting and we'll clamp it on. All right, so I ran the tubing down where the timer is going to be. We're going to run it along the fence line so it gives us more path space, and then just cut over And the T-post behind me will be where the corner sprinkler is. And so we're gonna put a T connector here, and I'll show you how we do that. So they sell these little, I don't know if these are just generic cutters here. So we're gonna give ourselves enough space here. Say we want it to come up about right there. So we're gonna cut right there. I'm gonna come up in the center or the side, whatever. We'll cut it about right there. There we go. And we will take our pressure fitting, do it this way so I can screw it on easier. Pressure fit. There we go, get that all the way on there. And we got our clamp. We'll clamp that down. Wait, I want to make sure we're right here so far as direction. Turn that up. Do something like that. That's good. There we go. Just like that. Now I have a tube that comes up here and then continues on down the line. And this will be zone 1. All right, and the irrigation system is complete. So let me show you what we did. Behind me is the 3-zone manifold, the timer. And so we got that running. Eventually we're gonna hook up a permanent water line coming out of the house, and we're gonna bury it, and we're gonna have a spigot coming up right here behind me. For now, the temporary solution is we ran a 3/4 inch hose out of the back of the house and to the manifold. Let me first show you what we had to do to get the hose done. So like I said, this is a temporary solution to irrigate the garden. So let me show you what we did. We had to split off and run some PEX. We are currently remodeling this part of the house, and so it was a blessing in disguise because we could just do a quick fix. So we hooked into the water line on this side. Initially, we actually didn't have enough pressure in the spigot in the front, and so we had to tee into this new line in the addition part of the house and run a new spigot out the back of the house. So that's what we did. Got some PEX. Very temporary solution, as you can tell. And then just ran it out the back of the house. So out here we have our valve and just a 90 going into the house. So like I said, very temporary solution, but it works for what we need. And we went from 5 psi water pressure to 45 psi. So now our sprinklers are running to full length, which is about 40 feet. And we needed that because we only want to use 5 sprinklers. So that is the inside part of what we did. And let me show you the rest of the outside. All right, again, we have the 3-zone manifold behind me. Let me show you that. So this is just a basic system. You have your settings over here, and basically we can tell each zone when to cut on, how long to stay on, how often to cut on, and that can dictate that zone. So we have zone 1 here, zone 2, zone 3. So zone 1 right here is attached to this sprinkler and this sprinkler down on the corner, way down there on the corner. And zone 2 right here in the middle goes down and will be that sprinkler. And that sprinkler will run 360 degrees all the way around once the garden is full with beds. Right now it's just going to obviously water these beds. And then zone 3 goes down and to a sprinkler right there on the corner, and then obviously again way down on the end in the corner. And so the good thing about the zones is we can really control what's getting watered. Not only that, we can control the PSI. We're not losing a ton of PSI trying to run 5 sprinklers at once. We're just running 2, or for this, in this case, 1 at a time. So let me go down here and show you one of the sprinklers. So for each sprinkler head, we had to do a little makeshift kind of work here to get the head onto the end of the poly. But basically what we're doing is we ran a T-post into the ground to add the rigid support to hold the sprinkler up, obviously. And that's at about 32 inches right now. And then at the bottom of the T-post, we have a T, and that just allows us to go up with the sprinkler. And then I'll show you this sprinkler down here. What we did on this one is a little bit different, because right now we're running, we're only going to be running this half of the garden. And so since these are on the same zone, I needed a way to shut this sprinkler off down here. And so I just ran a valve in the line, and when we're not using this half, we just shut that valve off, and it shuts this half of the sprinklers off. Did the valve on that side of the garden too. So it's a nice little system. We can run one half or the other. Eventually I'm going to put valves on every single sprinkler, just in case for some reason we don't need to run a sprinkler, or we need to run other ones. So anyway, that's a system. Pretty basic. It took us what I thought was going to take 1 day. It took about 4 days, as goes with any of this stuff as we're learning. So but it turned out good. It's a good little system that we won't have to mess with a whole lot during the season, hopefully, and that'll last us. And so that's it. The figuring out all of the joinery and all the parts was difficult, obviously, again, because we've never done this before, but we got it done. So that's it, guys, on the irrigation. Remember, if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see future videos and get our updates, remember to hit the notification button on the next to the subscribe button. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.